Hey guys, welcome to another episode in the playthrough of GT5. Emulator crashed again, very briefly after starting the previous episode. I decided to keep it in there anyways, because it did contain a car swap. So let's just continue where we left off. We swapped the HKS Mitsubishi Lancer, which felt really overpowered, for slightly less powerful Nissan 350, or what is it? 350Z RS. And we're redoing this championship. I already won it 2 episodes ago, but I did not win the last out of 5 races in it. I only won 4 and I want to win all of them. But yeah, seeing how fast the rest is, it could be that I'm in a similar situation. That I will be able to win the first 4, and then it appears only that I cannot win the last one, and I have to start over again. Yeah, this car feels extremely slow, and at least in the previous attempts the car cornered very well. This car is average at speed and at cornering. It really doesn't have the grip or the braking that the RX-7 has. No, I don't think I can win in this car. Alright, let's start over. Let's give it one more shot. shitty car. Absolutely terrible. Alright, so then we are going to try that GTR, the white GTR, which to me, probably I expect it also to be too overpowered. Alright, I'm gonna mark it to know that we've driven it. We want to drive all the cars. Man, it's pretty hard. Alright, let's go with a color that I normally would not take. Somehow the skyline, just like that midnight pearl, I find that the most suitable color for an R33 or R34 is midnight purple. Somehow I find these weird colors that I normally never would put onto another car. They just fit the skyline one way or another. Alright, I'm gonna say even if it's overpowered, I'm just gonna go with it. Because I won the championship already. This is just for completeness, that I want to win all the races. I can also just, of course, only redo the race that I lost. I'm not sure if that's possible, but I think you can just select a separate race as well. But no, I need to redo the whole championship just to make losing it actually have consequence. If I lose one race, then it means I have to redo the whole championship. That makes doing a new championship more exciting, so to say. Otherwise, if there is no consequence to failing, or less so, yeah, then it all becomes very more superficial. We have a blue steering wheel, and this is what I was expecting. We're super quick. On the other end, those Porsches are also pretty quick. Right, wait, I'm gonna increase my wheel feedback. Here we go. Yeah, we are pretty overpowered. Yeah, sorry. I cannot... I don't find it fun driving an overpowered car. Then I can just as well... Then it's not a race anymore. It is just driving 5 laps to the finish line. God damn it. Alright, we tested out quite some cars here now. This is a drift car. I think we already read the description in 2 episodes ago or so. So I'm not gonna repeat it. Or at least I read it. No, but I'm not sure if I read it out loud, but I'm pretty sure I read it out loud. Let's try this one. It is actually a drift car, but maybe it goes fast through corners as well. It has the right amount of power, not too little, like 300, but also not too much, like 590. It is like in the middle. Here we go. We are more or less keeping up. This feels really much more... Oh shit, it does feel like a drift setup, god damn it. I'm not sure this is possible to win a race, because it constantly wants to go sideways. This is not really possible. Nope. This is also not the way to go. God damn it. How hard is it just to find a car that is not overpowered and not underpowered? This is also a drift car. And there is one, yeah, this one, the 380. I think this one will also not be competitive, but let's just try it. Alright, let's read it. Alright, the version Nismo Type 380 RS is a Z33 Fairlady Z-based car built by Nismo who poured in racing technology gained from years of motorsport activities as the factory's racing team for Nissan. The 300 unit limited edition machine is a works-tuned street car with improved body rigidity, reinforced brakes, tuned suspension, front and rear aerodynamics, bumpers and rear spoiler, and a VQ35HR 3.8 liter racing engine detuned for street use that produces 355 horsepower at 7,200 revolutions per minute and 292.9 foot-pounds of torque at 4,800 RPM. Powerhouse Amuse tuned this car even further to create the Amuse Nismo 380 RS Superleggera. By changing compression ratios and tuning the intake and exhaust system, the power output was increased to 381 horsepower at 1700 RPM, 7100 RPM and 302 foot-pounds at 4860 RPM. And furthermore, as the name Superleggera, meaning super light in Italian, implies, the vehicle's weight has been reduced to 1370 kg, 140 kg lighter than the original car. Holy shit, and the original car was more than 1500 kg, that's quite a lot. This was achieved by replacing the roof panel and many other body parts with carbon and utilizing titanium for the exhaust system and other metal parts. The body parts are not just for lightweight and looks, they all take into account important functions such as cooling efficiency and aerodynamics. This machine was displayed at the Tokyo Auto Salon in January 2008 and received the Gran Turismo award selected by the Gran Turismo series producer Kazunori Yamauchi. I'm afraid we will again be totally wasted by the Porsches, and if that S2000 is on the grids, luckily it is not, but that car has like 600 horsepower. Go. Fuck me, even the Golf is faster than us. Man, that Golf is pretty fast actually. Here, that is the same car. The Drift S2000. Sorry, that I could really not drive. The AI apparently doesn't have problems with it. I have to say, this car drives, it feels really balanced. It doesn't have a horn. I just tested it. Sorry. Man, that Lancer is way too quick. Alright, I think there is a chance I can get him in the S sections. But will I be able to take him 5 races in a row? That car is just, that Lancer has like 550 horsepower or something. And we only have like 380. So it is going to be tricky one way or the other. God damn it, what to do? I cannot keep starting over. But I also don't want to drive an extremely overpowered car. Alright, I will try it one more time in this one. And now if I start over, the grid will also be different, I think. It is of course a little bit cheesing. That was not my intention actually. I really wanted to redo the same race. But that's not possible, redoing a race. Yeah, but now the rough is at front. And the rough 86 is also very quick. And maybe that GT1 S2000 is on the field as well, I'm not sure. There is an S2000 on the field. Yeah, I don't know what that car is over there. Isn't that I think yesterday I also tried an S2000, not this one that we did today, not the drift one, but another one. And I don't remember whether I stopped using it because it was too fast or whether it was too slow. I cannot even see the Porsche Yellowbird anymore. There's always one car with glitched shadows. Nope. Fucking hell, man. I just really don't like that TT. Ah, by the way, this car is super cool. I forgot about this one, but I don't think it's fast enough. Because it doesn't say anything about the speeds, power. Anyways, when the G35 Coupe reached dealerships in 2003, it was an instant hit, offering distinctive European flair with excellent driving performance. The G37 Coupe succeeded the G35 Coupe in the summer of 2008, taking all that was good about the G35 and making them even better. The car's styling became more aggressive with a new headlight treatment and reshaped rear ends. Additionally, a bigger engine, the VQ37 VHR V6, whose displacement was increased to 3.7 liters from 3.5 liters in the previous model, was dropped under the hood. At the 2008 SEMA Show, Specialty Equipment Market Association, the largest aftermarket show in the world, a customized Infiniti G37 created by GR Rocha was displayed. The car attracted plenty of attention and managed to catch the eye of Katsunori Yamaguchi, the creator of Gran Turismo. Yamauchi was so impressed that he awarded the prestigious Gran Turismo Best of Show awards to the car's owner. This eye-catching Infiniti G37 featured a body done up in matte black along with red and white trim to reflect the color of Japanese motorsport parts manufacturer Cusco. Modified bodywork included low-riding air dents and racy canards at the front, massive front and rear fenders and side skirts, a hood with air duct openings and a huge rear ring. The overall style made this G37 look much more like a full-fledged competition car rather than a street car, and with a full roll cage and two racing bucket seats, the interior was just as flamboyant as the exterior. Alright, I'm almost certain that this car will not be competitive. Although I do have to watch out a bit, because I don't have that much money anymore. So I cannot try another car. The only car I would like to try if this one doesn't work out is the Golf. But I think with 150k we can buy a Golf. I think this car is more like a visual tuned car, not so much faster under the hood. But it looks like a Batmobile, it looks pretty cool. Again, fuck me, man. I think that is the S2000 GT1. that car is basically unbeatable if it's up front. Why is there a random untuned Porsche Boxster in there? Car seems to be much more competitive than I was expecting. But that's also because there's not a crazy fast car up front. Although I do think there's a yellow bird there. If that yellow bird gets past the 350Z up there, I'm sure it will disappear. They're already disappearing, by the way, now. There he goes, fucking hell. And that is the crazy fast S2000. Nope. Fucking hell, man. There's always... That's the problem. And I don't want to be... Normally I never change cars that often in any Gran Turismo play session like I did now. But it just feels like either you're way overpowered if you get into that S2000 GT1 or whatever it's called. You can really win the race by driving half throttle. Or you're basically not competitive at all, and I find that quite annoying, honestly. I want to have like a real difficult race, but not unwinnable. Here, there it is, the S2000 GT1 Turbo in third place. If that one is on the grid, you have a problem. Alright, I could just try the RX-7 from yesterday again, and then just cross my fingers that the grid setup will be a little bit different, and that I will be able to win that last race, because that last race was, again, it was just unwinnable in my view. Alright. Where is that Volkswagen? Alright, Volkswagen is nowhere to be found anymore. I'm pretty sure I saw it somewhere. Wow. I'm just going to go buy all of them, just to make sure I'm not missing anything, but pretty sure I already have all of them. Alright, I cannot find it. Here, this is that GT1. Or maybe I have that Volkswagen already, I cannot imagine. Nope, I do have the Yellowbirds. Ah, that only has 432 horsepower. I thought that was way more. Because that one is winning a lot in the races. But I don't really find that like a tuner car. It is more like a factory tuned car. Just like AMG. 369, 365. This one is supposed to have 380 according to the description, but okay. Oh wow, this G37 has quite a lot of horsepower actually. 465. Here, that one should also be competitive, right? Yeah, I think that one was overpowered. This one is overpowered. This one is underpowered, but was really good at cornering. This one is way overpowered. Alright, I'm just going to go with this one again. Fuck it. Two S2000s, yeah. Nope, that is just not doable. GT1s, not a regular S2000, but a GT1 with 600 horsepower. We have 350 horsepower. I don't want to cheese my way out of here, but that is just too much of a disbalance. There's another one. But as long as they will be held up by the other cars, let's just try it. There's one S2000 and also that Audi all up front is very quick, I think, the TT. Goes through the corners very nicely, this one. But an S2000 must stay behind the Audi. Ah, fucking hell. You see, it's already passed and now it's a goner. Here, check it out. What a gap it pulls. Just ridiculous. Catch him in the S's. Driving terrible. Fucking hell, man. Fucking hell, man. So annoying that you also cannot start individual. I do like it because that makes championship more impactful, but you cannot start individual races within a championship, and if you restart it, you just get a re-roll of the dice. Here, now we don't have an S2000, but now it feels a bit like cheating. So, I know there's an S2000 there, okay. I just need to get up front quick and then keep them behind me. crash the S2000. See you later, buddy. Oh my god. Fucking hell, man. Oh my god, fucking hell, man. I think I could have won it if I wouldn't have spun out here. And now again, we're gonna restart the championship, re-roll the competition. Fucking annoying. Alright, so there's one S2000 Turbo, GT1 Turbo, and there's one GT1 2004. Here, they're now coming past. I don't know what the difference is, but I do hope that they will just be held up by the whole field. For the rest, it will be quite easy, unless that Porsche gets up ahead. But even the Porsches we can take in the corners here. I don't know why this car is so slow suddenly. Nope, nope. Alright, this win is in the pocket, I would say. And now he's suddenly much quicker in Skyline. Alright, the Porsche is now in second place. He will probably catch up on the straights. I will just get him back in the S's. Oh shit, there's the S2000 as well. Alright, I'm gonna block them. There he's coming. Motherfucker. No, no, no. Fucking hell. I was distracted. Fuck me. Fuck me. I think I'm on the last lap. I totally screwed it up. God damn it. How hard is it to win this fucking race, man? In not an overpowered car. Yeah, nope. This is a no-go right from the start. The turbo is in first place. It is just unwinnable. Right, there's a yellow bird in second place, which will be tricky, and the S2000 Turbo is in fourth place. If I can be ahead of them quickly, then I may have a chance. Wow, that S2000 is already in the second place now. Oh my god, fucking hell, man. long as that Porsche keeps the S2000 behind it. I don't think that will be very long. On the straight after this one, I think the S2000 will get into first place. This is such an annoying corner with camber. Here, there he goes, motherfucker. Exactly as I was expecting. So yeah, I cannot catch him, I can try, but... Oh my god, fucking hell, man. Fucking hell, man. Oh, I need a break. Fuck this fucking shit. Alright, the Lancer is very quick. There's also an S2000, but not a turbo. All at the back. And there are also yellow birds. Yeah, so it is still... It's not cheesing taking this field. Especially that Lancer. Because he's not only quick on the straight, he's also very quick in the corners. Here, there he goes. For the rest it's super easy, as long as that Porsche will not be overtaking everybody, or the Lancer. And I will take it, fuck it. Feels a bit like cheating, having easier opposition or competition, but whatever. We have 5 races, and I'm sure there will be that last one. Will be again artificially hard. The Porsche is in 3rd place, and I'm sure it will be 2nd place after this straight. There it comes. God damn it, it comes with a vengeance. But this is where we are faster, in these corners. If I don't screw it up. I don't understand how that yellow bird is so quick. We have like a car that is like 10, 20 years younger. We only have like 100 horsepower less. That yellow bird is really owning everybody on the grid. Pretty cool that it's now actually yellow in the rear view mirror. Right, there he comes. pocket. But it will be quite tricky, this race. Although I don't see, the Lancer, that's a regular Lancer evolution. Don't we also have that? So this is actually indeed a very relatively easy field. Because the S2000, it doesn't have a turbo, I think. And I thought that the fast Mitsubishi Lancer was also in the field, but it's not. Alright, let me quickly look up what the difference is between the... One moment. S2000 GT1 Turbo versus S2000 GT1 2004 GT5. The Amuse GT1 Turbo is a heavily upgraded premium model evolution of the standard Amuse S2000 GT1, a standard model ported largely from Gran Turismo 4. The GT1 Turbo features a larger blah blah blah. Yeah, so it's a 2.3 liter bored out turbo with sequential, I think, 7-speed transmission versus a 2 liter 6-speed setup. And apparently it's the fastest, the S2000 Turbo is the fastest 2000 or S2000 in the game. Even faster than the race car. But the other one also has a turbo, but just a smaller one. The 2004 is 400 horsepower. The GT1 Turbo is 620. And it's also lighter. And it has a better transmission. So it is overall a much better car. And now I'm feeling like, okay, am I cheesing it? Winning it against a relatively easy grid. No, but there, no, I wanted to say, there is the fast Mitsubishi Lancer number 7 HKS. But I think this is, it's the same tuner, but it's not the same car. The CT230R is, I think, just a Porsche. HKS CT230R. What the hell is that? No, that is the Lancer. So it is there, but apparently it got stuck in the middle or something. Anywho, yeah, okay, so then the field is actually, if they start more up front, it can still be unbeatable hard. So let's just continue. And now this one, I really don't know the braking points, and I also really don't like the track in this game, not because of the game, but because there's a lot of jaggies anti-aliasing, and I cannot turn the anti-aliasing on, because then it really slows down to a crawl, so that's not the game's fault. But it's just really hard to, it's distracting, the jaggies, and it's, I don't know the track, shit, it's in front of me. The rough, but it's really hard to make out the braking point, I find here. Alright, I need to get in front of that Porsche. It's the only thing that matters. Mission accomplished. That Lancer is holding up everybody, really nice. I don't understand where that fast Lancer is. Alright, this is the same as in yesterday's race here. Somehow the AI is really slow here. Well, they can really... I was expecting them to pass me left and right on these straights. Apparently not. Here, I'm crazy far ahead. And I have one of the weakest engines. Makes no sense. know what car is behind me, but it's getting closer. I think it's the Yellowbirds. Motherfucker. Bane of my existence. Braking too early there because I really don't see the braking points. I have no visual reference. Braking too early over there. shit, there's the Lancer behind as well. Fucking hell. In the pockets. Still, I'm not so much worried about these races. I'm worried about the last race, where yesterday's or 2 episodes ago, they were just crazy quick on Tokyo R246. Alright, here we go. In a previous episode over here, I had like white screens for like 3 seconds. per lap. I still managed to win it, but I hope that is not again the case here. Alright. First order of business. Holy fuckaroli. Check out. Oh, fuck me. Again a white screen. Fuck me, this is going to be so annoying. Alright, I need to get beat in front of that motherfucking Porsche. Like so. Sorry. Alright, now at the end of this straight there will be 2 seconds of white screen. Now, fucking hell man, so annoying. Oh my god, fuck this white screen. Fuck, where's that Porsche? Is he besides me? I don't see him in the rear view mirror anymore. Maybe he crashed out, which would be pretty nice. But now the Lancer is behind me. And I don't know who I'd rather have behind me. The Porsche or the Lancer? Alright, now prepare for widescreen. Fucking hell. Oh my god, it is a super slow corner, but it's really easy to spin out over there. Right, so really annoying that white screen. I have different settings in the emulator than in yesterday's attempts. And it still persists, that white screen. Super annoying. Please don't crash. Fuck my life. Alright, nice. Let's see what happened with that yellow birds at the start of the second lap. That's pretty cool that they can spin out. Right, so it's starting from last place. Let's see how far it gets up ahead. It remains in last place. Drifting all over the place, really cool. By the way, that Porsche has like pretty cool inlets. At the rear there. For the bigger turbo, probably. Alright, this one is also pretty doable, but I'm really worried about the last one. And if I lose it, I have to restart the whole championship again. We want to win every race. Fuck me. Unless the Porsche now is really getting away. Alright, not sure what's going on with that car. Sorry, my bad. Alright, I'm not driving well at all, but we have quite leads either way. But now for the big one. Alright, now for the big one. Where in the previous attempts the cars were somehow suddenly way quicker than normal. Than in the preceding 4 races. Alright, here we go. Please, Porsche, don't be in front. He is in front. But that also means, if it's the same setup, that first place car is holding up the rest of it. Ah, fuck that guy. Check it out. Right, I'm hanging better than before. But that Porsche is gaining ground. I need to get in front of the Porsche before the straight. Fucking hell. Oh my god. And check out that first place car that now suddenly is crazy quick. Sorry, Porsche. That was not very clean, but I'm not gonna... I really don't want to have to do it all over again. But check out that Mazda over there. It's the same car that I'm driving. It never was that quick, and now in this race it's suddenly super quick. I'm getting a bump from the Porsche, which is nice. It's just artificial. No. Only way to win all the races in this championship is just get an overpowered car. Because this is just not fair. god. Fucking hell, man. Fucking hell. I had a slight glimmer of hope that I would be able to make it, but not anymore. Fucking hell, man. Fucking hell. Oh my god. Yeah, it is just ridiculous. It's super artificial. It really almost makes me want to quit the whole game if this is what the AI is doing. I want to win every race. And now suddenly a car that is normally really not that quick. The only quickest cars are the in this grids, the Mitsubishi Lancer and the Yellowbirds. And suddenly in that last race, a random car becomes super quick. It's just ridiculous. Alright, so I don't even know what I'm gonna do now. Because I don't want to just redo only this race. It's a championship, so I have to redo the whole championship. But even if I would take an overpowered car, if it's all artificially done, it could very well be that I will still lose in the last race, because it is just programmed that way. Yeah, I will probably have to, I must, that's the only way. It is not even cheating. I need to get a faster car to be able to win that last race. And yes, I'm not the best driver, but I'm also not the worst driver. And the gap that it pulls, maybe there is a chance that I can win it. But the problem is I have to do 4-5 lap races before I get an attempt. And that is just crazy. So that is just ridiculous. So yeah, I'm gonna get the Skyline and then be done with it. At least I thought that Skyline was pretty competitive as well. Ah wait, there are performance points in this game as well. I wasn't even aware. So this is 587. Ah, there it's at the top left. So this is 614. It says ridiculous. 515. What was our Mazda? 523. And what is our current car? 592, yeah, that's a really big difference. 577. So this, we could try this one. It is in between the fastest. And we have to drive all cars anyway, so let's try this one. Maybe it is a super cool car to drive. Oh shit. This one is crazy expensive. Alright, but we can sell some cars. Maybe we have some duplicates. Yeah, although I do want to keep the cars here because then I can see which one I drove already. Because I have it favorited. Unless we have some duplicates. Which I doubt. Here, that Kubelwagen. Pretty sure we drove it already. I don't understand. I already put a mark there as favorite yesterday. Now it's not here. Or do we also have two Kubelwagens? Is there also a standard one? Nope, nothing I can sell. Alright, then it's the Nissan. But let's compare the performance points further. 558. This one really was not that quick. 500. This is a really high one. Yeah, 609. $523, and we are now going to 592. Yeah, so it's really a difference. So we are not in the fastest car. The fastest car is the Mitsubishi Lancer and the S2000 Turbo. Alright, I totally forgot about performance points, that it was in this game as well. Anywho, we'll take a small break, let's end the episode here, and then in the next episode we are again for the third time doing that whole championship. It will be much easier in a faster car, I guess. But yeah, that is there's no middle ground. I would really like to have a difficult race, very difficult. That is still winnable. But that last race on Tokyo R246, I think it's called, that track. It is just artificially fast, the AI. So super annoying. Anywho, we'll continue in the next episode. Hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you there. For the meantime, do not forget, always do keep on gaming. Later.